In the war-torn world of Ivalice, faith is more than a simple comfort. It's a weapon. And no institution wields that weapon better than the Church of Glabados. At its head are men whose wisdom is supposedly unshakable. For years, the people looked to one man as a pillar of hope. Cardinal Alphonse Delacroix. He was a celebrated hero from the 50 Years' War who became a pious leader, a protector of the innocent, a bastion of righteousness. But what if that holy man was just an act? What if the cardinal, who held the faith of thousands in his hands, was secretly working with its greatest enemies? Today, we are opening the case file on Cardinal Delacroix to uncover the evidence that suggests Ivalice's holiest man was leading a dark, double life. To understand the scale of his betrayal, one must first reckon with the man everyone thought he was. Cardinal Alphonse Delacroix was the second most powerful man in the entire Church of Glabados, his authority second only to the High Confessor himself. He wasn't merely handed this position, he earned it. As a famed hero of the 50 Years' War, his transition from celebrated knight to holy cardinal made him appear to be the ultimate selfless servant. He projected an aura of kindness and wisdom, acting as a steady hand in a world spinning into chaos. This is the man Ramza Beolf and his friends seek out for help. While protecting Princess Ovelia, the holy knight Agrius, at the subtle suggestion of one Delita Hyrule, suggests they seek sanctuary at Lionel Castle, Delacroix's personal domain. To them and to everyone else, the Cardinal's castle is the safest place in Ivalice. And when they arrive, Delacroix plays his part flawlessly. He greets them with gentle words, offering the full protection of the church. He listens to the story of Mustadio, a young machinist being hunted by a criminal trading company, and promises to intervene. He acts as a compassionate, powerful ally, wrapping his guests in a blanket of false security. This carefully built facade is the most critical part of his deception. But that holy image starts to crumble when you look at why Ramza was there in the first place. The machinist, Mustadio, was on the run because he and his father had unearthed an ancient artifact, a Zodiac Stone, specifically the Taurus Stone. These stones are supposedly holy relics, tied to the legend of the Zodiac Braves who once saved the world. However, the Cardinal shows a suspiciously strong interest in this holy relic. It turns out the Baert Trading Company, the very group hunting Mustadio, was secretly hired by Delacroix himself. He wanted the Taurus Stone, and was willing to use a ruthless mercenary group to get it, even if it meant kidnapping and threatening an innocent man and his son. This is the first major crack in his saintly veneer. Why would a man of God use such brutal tactics for a simple relic? The answer lies in what the Zodiac Stones, or Auracite, really are. They aren't gifts from heaven. They are prisons for ancient demons known as the Lucavi. The Church of Glabados, or at least its corrupt inner circle, has been secretly collecting them. Their plan is to use the chaos of the ongoing War of the Lions to destabilize Ivalice, seize power, and eventually resurrect their leader, the High Seraph Ultima. Delacroix isn't just a corrupt cardinal. He's a key player in a demonic plot to bring the world to its knees. Once you know who he's really working for, his actions become a horrifying trail of evidence. His hunt for Mustadio wasn't about securing a holy relic for the church. It was about getting a key to a demon's cage. When the leader of the Baert Trading Company, Ludovic Baert, returns to the castle with a fake stone, Delacroix's true nature surfaces. There's no forgiveness or clerical mercy. The Cardinal personally executes Baert for his failure and immediately enlists the sellsword Gaffgarion to finish the job. His hospitality toward Princess Ovelia was an even darker trap. He offered her sanctuary, only to make her a prisoner. He used her as a pawn to manipulate the war and lure his enemies into his grasp. The Holy Knight Agrius, Ovelia's fiercely loyal protector, eventually realizes the truth and narrowly escapes, confirming the sanctuary was a cage all along. But the most chilling piece of evidence comes from the Cardinal himself. In the War of the Lions remake, Delacroix's mask completely shatters. During a confrontation, he looks at the earnest young Mustadio and says with ice-cold precision, "Yours is a pure and righteous heart, my young machinist. That's why you must die." In that line, the benevolent Cardinal is gone, replaced by a predator who sees purity not as something to protect, but as an obstacle to be destroyed. It is a confession of his villainy, a declaration that his goals are the exact opposite of everything good and just. The final showdown was inevitable. After defeating Gaffgarion at the castle gates, Ramza, Agrius, and Mustadio storm Lionel Castle to rescue Ovelia and confront the man pulling the strings. Inside the keep, they find Delacroix waiting. The time for games is over. He callously informs them that Ovelia is gone, his pawn moved to another square on the board. With his plans blown wide open, Delacroix decides there's no more need for the act. He reveals he has a Zodiac Stone of his own, the Scorpio Auricite. As the heroes watch in horror, he holds the stone high. But he doesn't pray for holy power. He scoffs at the very idea of a father in heaven, calling the core belief of his own faith a work of fiction. Real power, he reveals, comes from the stone. The Auricite glows with a sick, malevolent energy, and Cardinal Delacroix transforms. His human body twists and bloats into a grotesque, monstrous creature. He has become the Lucavi demon Cúchulainn the Impure. The revered war hero and spiritual leader was just a vessel for a demon, a shadow puppeteer using the church to help his dark masters. The fight that follows is more than a pitched fight for survival. It's a battle against the ultimate betrayal. Ramza and his companions manage to kill the demon, and upon its death, Cúchulainn dissolves, leaving only the Scorpio Stone behind. With the demon gone, we're left with one haunting question. Why? Why would a man at the peak of the church throw it all away for a deal with the Lucavi? The game doesn't give a definitive answer, leaving his true motivations open to interpretation. It's suggested that Delacroix was once a truly pious man, a hero who fought for Ivalice. But somewhere along the line, he found the Scorpio Auricite. One interpretation is that the stone didn't possess him, but rather seduced him. It offered him power beyond anything the church could ever promise. Perhaps for a man who had seen the horrors of war and the corruption of the elites, that kind of power felt like the only real truth left. The Lucavi may have offered him a way to become more than human, to become a god. This theory suggests his faith wasn't destroyed, but twisted into a new, dark religion, worshipping the Lucavi and the power they promised. He may not have been just a host for a demon, but a willing convert. A fallen vessel of piety who chose darkness for a taste of divinity. It was a lust for power that may have rotted him from the inside, turning a hero into a monster long before the physical transformation. If you enjoy deep dives on the dark side of Ivalice and the hidden truths behind its heroes and villains, consider subscribing for more Final Fantasy Tactics lore investigations. In the end, Cardinal Delacroix's legacy is one of masterful deception. To the public, he was nearly a living saint. In reality, he was a key conspirator in a plot that nearly plunged the world into an age of demons. His death at Ramza's hands wasn't the murder of a holy man. It was the slaying of a monster. But the corrupt Church of Glabados couldn't let that truth get out. To protect their power, they branded Ramza a heretic and the enemy of the faith, accusing him of murdering the cardinal and stealing the Auracite. Delacroix's story is a chilling reminder that in the world of Ivalice, the line between the sacred and the profane is often terrifyingly thin. The most trusted figures can hide the darkest secrets, and symbols of hope can become weapons of despair. The holy man of Lionel Castle was a lie, and uncovering that lie set Ramza on a path that would force him to question everything about his world, his faith, and history itself.